Good morning. I believe it's morning. It's 11:57, so it'll be morning for another 3 minutes. Good noon to you. Good midday. Wanted to check in face to face with all of you in anticipation for this week's work, but also looking forward to what is coming up in the next few weeks. According to my syllabus, which I hope and I believe is the same as your syllabus, we have this week, which is Top Dog Underdog. Next week, we have Hamlet Machine, which is a very unique, strange, very, very brief, but very, very complex play by Heiner Mueller, who's a German playwright, director, firebrand, so on and so forth. And then the final week of the semester for classes, I still haven't decided what musical we'll be working on. I'll be deciding that probably this week so that I can make sure that I actually have the script for that and any supplementary materials that might be of use to you all. I did want to check in face to face. I don't have a PowerPoint for this week, but I did have some announcements, and I wanted to just call your attention to a few things as you work through the play we'll be reading for this week, which is our first announcement. That would be Top Dog Underdog, which is, and I know I've said this before, it's one of my favorite plays. I saw it in the original Broadway production, and I love teaching this play. I love talking about this play. Unfortunately, we don't have face to face classes to have a dynamic and wide ranging discussion about it, but I hope that you all enjoy it and get as much out of it as I very, very often do. In addition to Top Dog Underdog this week, the script, you'll also be reading Chapter 9 out of Script Analysis, which is dedicated to rhythm and sort of the musicality of scripts. We've talked about this throughout the semester how language has this kind of musical, rhythmic quality. Language has a tempo. We can increase that tempo to increase intensity. We can slow it down to increase intensity. And playwrights can play around with tempo and musicality in order to convey what James Thomas calls in script analysis mood. Okay? Rhythm can be used thematically. It can be used to express characteristics of a certain relationship between two characters. It can also, very importantly, embody a sense of urgency, a sense of conflict, a sense of uh, increased intensity in the dramatic action, and all the different ways that playwrights do that. So, those are the two readings for this week. In addition to that, I have posted a documentary, which I always love teaching this, always love talking about it. And again, we don't really have that advantage, but I hope that you all can take some time. It is a little under an hour. It is called Top Dog Diaries. It's a documentary that was made about 15 years ago, maybe a little bit more, around the time that Susan Laurie Parks was working, actually, it was about 20 years ago, was working on Top Dog Diaries. It follows her from the germination of the idea behind this wonderful two-person fantastic play, all the way to its production off Broadway at the Public Theater, and ending with its performance, very briefly at the end, on Broadway. Those of you who are aspiring playwrights or directors or actors, this is a fabulous, incredible documentary, not just on this play. It will nourish your understanding of this play, of course. It's why I've given it to you this week. But it also takes you through the professional production process. A lot of times, a playwright's process can be invisible. The only thing we have as artists and as audiences is either the performance or we have the script. But this sort of unpacks the writing process. And this is a play that is deeply informed by a sense of musicality between these two incredibly dynamic characters, Lincoln and Booth. So that's the material for this week. I will be posting a response by the end of today. Again, today is Monday. I will also be posting the quiz by the end of tomorrow. The quiz will be on the play that I will be drawing from the documentary, and also a little bit from Thomas's chapter 9 in script analysis. So be sure that you familiarize yourself with those. You will not have a PowerPoint to sort of dig through as you're taking the quiz for this week. So be sure that you consume and reflect on all the materials and resources that I've provided you with for this week. In addition to that, I did have, I think, a couple of announcements. Documentary. I will be posting your final project. Those of you who have already noticed, I gave you feedback and, of course, graded your final paper proposals. I am fabulously, overwhelmingly excited to see what you all come up with. And I'll be giving you the kind of the prompt, the proposal, the criteria that I'm looking for this final project. I am taking my time because I'm trying to be respectful of the fact that you all don't have physical libraries that you can go to. And so I'm trying to craft an assessment, a project paper that will fit into the limitations, but also some of the opportunities that we have, given that we have are focusing on using online materials for this particular project. So once I post that, which again, today is Monday, the 20th, please let me know if you have any questions. I'll be dropping that on Wednesday. And you'll essentially have the last 2.5 or 3 weeks to work through this project. I encourage you, if you are stumped or confused, to please reach out to me. In addition to the final project, the only 2 remaining sort of assessments, quote unquote, are the quiz for this week, the quiz for next week on Hamlet Machine, and then the quiz in the final week on a musical to be determined. In addition to that, you will have the opportunity, if you would like to write a response for this week on Top Dog Underdog. You will have an opportunity next week to write on Hamlet Machine. You will also have an opportunity in the last week to write on whatever musical I decide upon. To be honest, I was going to do Sweeney Todd at the end of the semester, but a pair of you, and I don't begrudge you this, it's an amazing show, are doing that for your final paper. So, again, to reiterate, if you have already identified a script that you would like to work on, and I think most of you had either a really strong number 1 choice out of 3, or you had already chosen, I want to work on this play. Find the script. That is your first job. I was very careful to make sure that every single one of you had chosen a script that you could access online. That said, if you are finding it challenging finding the script, please let me know. I used to work at the Drama Bookshop in New York, so I got really good at finding scripts online and otherwise. And I'll start sending out information and posting information on Canvas about resources that you all can use once I have actually posted the assignment, because you're going to be looking at things like production history, context of the composer or the playwright, first productions, interesting or strange adaptations of this particular work. So all of those things are going to be kind of part of this final project. Again, if there are any questions about the final project, about this week's assessments, or about anything at all that is related to this class, I encourage you to please email me. I have nothing at all but time and a whole, oops, it's over my other shoulder, and nothing but a wonderful bookshelf. Can't see, but it's all filled all the way to the bottom with plays and theater-related things. So I have nothing better to do than to reread a lot of my most favorite books. And by the way, this happens to be one of them. So I hope you all enjoy the reading for this week. Again, questions, concerns, comments, whatever it is, please reach out to me. I am here to help, and I hope you all are having a good. Is it May yet? No. I hope you all are having a good end of April, and that you're hopefully enjoying the weather while still observing social distancing. Be well, and please be in touch if need be. Thank you so much, y'all.